Happy birthday, LTN, you little boo boo.
All right, I'm sitting down with Kate Kadowaki. Is that how you say it? Kadowaki? Kadowaki?
Yes,
Kadowaki?
there it is. Well, I've heard it. I've
Kadowaki?
heard it both. I've heard it both ways. I've never heard. Well, I've heard Kadowaki. Rarely.
Kadowaki? People call you
That's a
Kadowaki.
rare. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
nothing like
That's
that.
exactly what they call me.
What is your official role now? I never remember it. Your official
My
title?
my official title is, I guess, admin lead. Um, but I also do the social media. So how about admin lead / social medias with a Z?
So it is the 7th of March. We are 2 days removed from the 5-year anniversary of the birth, essentially, of Love Thy Nerd. So 5 years ago. Now, you weren't actually on the video, but you were present in the room, correct?
Yeah, I was present in the room. I was seated behind the computer,
Okay.
reading the comments.
All right. So
in the video.
You sat down with the other 5 founders, and it was
Yep.
announced on the Facebook live stream to those who were already kind of supporting you that your new venture would be called Love Thy Nerd. So my question is, how did you feel leading up to that moment, and then how did you feel in that moment?
I was nervous. I was excited. I was also hopeful and intrigued. I hoped that in that announcement and sharing it with those people that Love Thy Nerd would be something that others would want to be a part of. And would be excited about it and also intrigued. And we didn't have a whole structure of this is exactly what we're going to do and it's going to be so great and all this. So it was kind of more of a general idea, but I hoped that people were excited about it and what we hoped to do and wanted to do. And yeah, it was a very surreal moment, to be honest. I mean, my face would have looked surreal, but you couldn't see it because I was behind the computer.
uh, in your opinion here, looking back on the last 5 years, how has the mission of LTN evolved from your perspective?
I think the mission started out as something that was fairly general. Basically, just to love nerds, and that was the mission. The mission statement is, in case anybody doesn't know it, the mission statement is to show the love of Jesus to nerds and nerd culture, and that's a pretty broad statement. And I think that over the past 5 years, it's really started evolving into something that's a little more pointed. And I feel like right now we're really starting to get some momentum with that, and we're moving forward into a place that's more about education and trying to educate and love and teaching other people how to educate and love on how to love nerds and nerd culture, and more purposeful, not just like, hey, we're nerds and we're nice like Jesus and it's fun and we love games, which that's not a bad thing at all, but trying to be more purposeful. That's how I would describe the mission and how it's changed.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to what Bubba said yesterday,
Ah,
except he took about 30 minutes to say it, so you did a good
well,
job.
it's called being effective in getting the point across.
What is one thing that LTN has accomplished that you are most proud of or most excited about?
I think LTN Con Online 2021. That's something that really stood out to me in terms of something that LTN has accomplished because it was just so cool to me. It really got me hyped. Like, we do a lot of in-person things when it comes to, the outreach trips and conventions and stuff, but this particular LTN Con expanded on the last one, the 2020 online one. And it was more polished, it was a better experience, I think. And it was so awesome to me to get to see people from all over participate in it. And we all got the chance to learn from some really awesome, incredible speakers and just enjoy each other's company in a digital space and learn together. And that moment for me, I thought, oh man, like we could actually have a really cool event online that is empowering to people and teaching people. There was all sorts of opportunities for learning there all together, and it was just a moment of hype for me where yeah, I to me, that's one of my favorite things, and I was not on the LTN Con Online planning team, so I really didn't do anything to make it what it was, but I really enjoyed getting to experience that and seeing the heart of LTN in that online digital way. It really blew my mind.
I will 100% agree with you.
It was so
I
cool.
was I was blown away with. I mean, I really loved the first one. The first one
Yeah.
was kind of a last ditch effort kind of thing that they put
Yeah.
together, and it still came out
Mhm.
really well. But that 2021 one, that was better than
Yeah.
nearly any other kind of online event I had seen.
It had some fire to it. I
Yeah.
remember watching it and thinking, "Oh my gosh, like, Bubba did some stuff on this." It just nailed it. It
Yeah,
really
it
spoke
really
to
did.
me, and, yeah, I think that's the most hyped I've ever been about any LTN event ever was was that one.
What are some of your other favorite memories from the last 5 years?
Well, there's this, restaurant called Beach House Fish in Ventura, California, and whenever all the founders get together, it's usually out here because me, Chris, and April Lynn all live out here, so it was like majority rules, you know? At this restaurant, everybody knows it's like a really good restaurant. They have really good like fish tacos and all this stuff. Well, Chris and I order chicken tenders and fries every time that we go there, and that's just a fond memory to me about the LTN founders because there's a lot of judgment about like why would you order chicken tenders at a fish place, but the chicken tenders are so good. And whenever I see that restaurant, it's like right on the pier too. So you see all the ocean and the pier and all this stuff. Whenever I see that restaurant, because I drive by it all the time, I always think about us going there as a group and Chris and I ordering chicken tenders. That doesn't really have anything to do with other Love Thy Nerd things. So I'll say back to like the actual point and question that you were asking. I think some of my favorite memories revolve around meeting some particular really, really awesome people and just the experience that I had getting to meet people and realizing like, "Man, literally never would have met you ever in a million years if it weren't for this, and you are such an awesome person, and I never would have met you except for this," you know? That and also doing the free play podcast, that's like my selfish favorite memory because I love getting to hang out with Matt and Bubba like that, and whenever it is that free play is no more, who knows when that is, I will look back on that and be like, "Man, that was so cool." Like, my 2 friends and I got to have a podcast where we talked about games that was really us just, like, messing around and hanging out, and people enjoyed it, I guess, and that is insane. I'm done with the memories. I'm
You're
sorry, I'm
second
laughing.
guessing all your
I'm try
answers.
I'm trying to laugh quietly because I'm sorry, keep going.
What was the restaurant at? Where was the restaurant at again?
Ventura, Ventura,
Ventura.
California.
Okay.
Are you looking it up?
No, I'm just trying to remember if
Oh,
I've been to that area or not. I think I'm thinking of Huntington Beach.
probably there's a
There's a
pier
one.
there too, and
There's a restaurant on the pier there.
they or maybe they have 2 locations. I'll look it up after this. It would still qualify as a beach house fish.
And so, did everyone just rag you for getting chicken tenders? Is that what you're saying
Yeah,
every time?
and I burn you just gotta be careful because they're so good, you just wanna dig in right away, but they burn you. So you just gotta be careful.
All right, I got a big question for you now, and we're traveling into the future.
Okay.
Where is LTN going to be 5 years from now?
Mm. I believe and the way that I said that sounded really, like, not believing, but I do believe that LTN will become an innovative player in nerd culture ministry, if not, like, the innovative leader in nerd culture ministry, which is a very wild thought. I think that in 5 years, we will be creating more opportunities for people to learn about nerd culture and engage in it and become effective in it in their own communities with education, with resources, and probably a bunch of ideas that we haven't even thought of yet. So I think that will all be happening. And I think that we will be equipping others to go and do even more than we are right now. I think we will really have dialed in some ways to do that and to uplift and encourage people in that. And I think that we will have learned and will be learning so much from other people as well that we haven't met, that we already know. That's what really excites me is to see how much how much we will have learned in 5 years. I hope we've learned a couple new things, like, please.
Hmm. I mean, I've been watching LTN since it started.
Do you think
Uh,
we've learned a couple things?
I feel like it. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like we're well on our way to being
Okay, good.
a major player here.
Okay, good.
All right, last question for you here, Kate. When you pray for LTN, what do you ask of God?
Honestly, I ask that the founders and staff, as human people, would not get in the way of the mission. Our mission is to show the love of Jesus to nerds and nerd culture. But we are an organization run by humans who make mistakes because that's just the nature of humanity. It's a flawed thing. Nobody's perfect. We try the best that we can. And that's why I pray and ask for that specifically, is for us to not get in the way and for God to be able to use what we're trying to do for the good, despite Earth being what it is and humans being the way that they are. We can't help it.
Humans are the worst. You're right.
I know. I completely agree.
All right, Kate. Is there anything else you'd like to add or say to anybody who might be watching or listening?
Um, you should be my friend. I don't know. I
I second
if
that.
there's one thing that I've learned from being a part of LTN, it's that there's something in everybody that I find interesting, and it's probably the most randomest thing that you've never even considered would be interesting to another human being, and I need to know it. So you can just email me, kate@lovethynerd.com, just your random facts about you. That sounds so weird. I don't mean it in a weird way. I just mean it in I genuinely am curious. Should I think of another thing that's not that to say?
This isn't
Is
an
that too
official question, so
is that too creepy?
we'll let people decide that.
Okay.
If you think it's too creepy, email Kate that you think it's too creepy.
Yeah, just did I go too far?
No. All right, Kate. Last thing I need you to do is,
Okay.
just like you're talking to your 5-year-old child on their
Mm.
birthday, as the
Happy
cake is
B-Day.
coming out. Happy birthday, LTN. 3, 2, 1, go.
Happy birthday, LTN, you little boo-boo. I'll do a real one. I just couldn't help it. I'll do a real one. Unless you wanna use that one.
I do want to use that. I
Okay.
feel like there's nothing you're going to be able to do that's going to top
Well,
that
that's
one.
I would have said happy birthday and not boo-boo, but that's
No,
how I would say it
that's
to a kid, a
exactly.
5-year-old
That's how I
kid.
want it. All right, Kate.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Thank you so much for
All
joining
right.
me.
Of course.
There's a mile of light. For every inch of dark, there's a mile of light.